Hello! Welcome to Sonic Studio and Amarra Symphony with iRC. This tutorial will introduce Sonic Studio's iRC measure application and go over the process of room analysis and filter file creation. We've added iRC, or Impulse Response Correction technology, to Amarra Symphony simply because we want you to have the most thrilling listening experience possible. Before iRC, the listening room was the limiting factor in most sound systems. Now, iRC enables you to meld your playback system with the acoustic signature of your listening space like never before. The result should be a new level of clarity and definition for your music. iRC Measure is a standalone application and performs two functions. First, as an audio measurement tool to model your room acoustics, and second, as an analysis engine that automatically uses the measurements taken to create an optimized filter set that corrects for timing, phase, and EQ anomalies in your room. You'll save the optimized filter files that you create with iRC Measure and use them in Amarra Symphony's iRC processor window. These filter files are opened by clicking on the iRC button and loading a filter into one of the 4 filter slots in the iRC control window. Once you have measurements taken, you can adjust the filter graph and create as many filter combinations as you need, so long as you haven't moved your speakers. You should find iRC pretty easy to use. You'll need a room calibration mic, such as this one, a Behringer ECM 8000C. A room calibration mic is a special purpose microphone that has very flat frequency response, as well as an omnidirectional pickup pattern. You'll find good quality calibration mics that use a USB connection to your Mac fairly inexpensive and easy to use. Visit www.sonicstudio.com to find a list of our recommended microphones. Now we're going to model the listening space here in the Sonic Studio control room with iRC Measure. This can be done either by connecting your mic via USB if supported, or in this case, the line input on my Mac coming from the Studio Mixer. Open System Preferences in your Mac and select the Sound icon. Choose the Input tab and select a device for sound input from the list here. I'm using the built-in input on my Mac, but this is the window where your USB mic would appear too. Make sure you see level on the meters. It's important that it's not overloading, but not too low either. I'll play some music at a normal listening volume and set the input volume here. That looks about perfect. You can now close the System Preferences window. Next, launch iRC Measure from inside the Amarra Symphony application folder. iRC Measure is licensed from the Amarra Symphony with iRC app. Refer to the Amarra Symphony user guide for licensing instructions. When the application first starts, you'll see on the left-hand side here a set of tabs from Sound System to Filter Design. Note the convenient Help menu over here in the right-hand margin. It's useful for finding out information about each tab that you're moving through. iRC Measure always starts in the Sound System tab. You should define the output device that will play the test signal. It's usually your DAC that's connected to your Mac or preamplifier. Once it's done, click the Proceed button down here in the right-hand corner. You can always go to the previous tab by clicking the Back button in the lower left corner of the screen here. In the Mic Config tab, choose the input you set in Sound Preferences by clicking the Record Device bar. Generally, you'll leave the record channel in the default position, number 1. Since this mic includes a calibration file, I'll load it. Here's the calibration file, and clicking OK. Calibration files are small files that enable iRC Measure to make up for slight variances in the frequency response of some calibration mics. Only the most expensive measurement microphones can be expected to have transparent recording characteristics. All other microphones can benefit from the use of a calibration file. Many of these files can be found online. Click Proceed again and move to the Output tab. Here you can adjust the gain or sensitivity of the microphone and the signal output of iRC Measure's test signals. To start, make sure that the output volume slider here is set to about 20% of the max. If you're using a DAC as I am here, this slider may be disabled. adjust the level control knob on your hardware device or preamp instead. iRC will use a sweep-type test signal that progresses from very low subsonic tone to a very high ultrasonic tone during measurements. Since these tones can be quite loud, we recommend that you wear hearing protection during these tests. Now, let's test the output of each channel. First, make sure the volume is down on your preamp or amplifier before you click the test button. Then turn up the amp so the level on the channel meter is in the middle part of the green section, somewhere around -12. The green section here is the safe zone that should enable enough headroom to prevent clipping during testing. Test each channel and set the level accordingly, then hit the proceed button. Let's do a quick test here. There's the left channel. And there's the right channel. Our tests are pretty much complete here, so we can click the Proceed button to move to the Measurements tab. In the Measurements tab, you can select the kind of listening environment you have. If you have a very tight listening area, you might want to select the picture of the chair as I've done. Even for the chair listening environment, it's important to spread out the microphone positions in a sphere of about 1 meter or 3 feet in diameter. If you want to test for a broader listening space, then choose the picture of the couch or sofa over here. You'll notice that each of the pictures has a number of gray dots around here and a yellow dot. These are the locations that you'll be required to move the microphone to when taking the tests. You can get a more accurate representation of each of these locations by clicking the View Selector menu below the image to change the orientation of the picture. Here's the oblique view, here's the frontal view. It's important that you try to take the measurements in each of the areas specified here for best results. When you place your mic in the test position indicated by the yellow dot in the picture, click the Start button. You'll see a notice here that the mic should be set in the exact center or sweet spot of your listening space for the first measurement. Once you confirm that you've placed the microphone correctly, click OK. That was the first test sweep initiated. If you see any red on the waveform graphic, then you need to turn down the volume of your speakers to a lower setting and retake the measurements. Red means that the test signal was clipped and you'll have to take the measurement again. When you completed the one measurement, move the microphone to the next spot indicated in the graphic over here and repeat the steps until all 9 measurements are taken. I'll take the other 8 measurements now and be right back. After all 9 measurements are taken, the Proceed button down here will become available. Click on the Proceed button and the measurement file will be created. Here in the Filter Design tab, you'll see the results of your test indicated by the light blue line on the frequency spectrum and a suggested filter curve for your room indicated by the red line. You can adjust the target curve by clicking and dragging any of these orange filter anchor points, or even adding more of them to achieve your desired curve. Here's another one. You can also limit the frequencies affected in the target curve by clicking on the frequency limit tabs and moving them to the left and to the right in the filter graph here. Move the high frequency in just a little bit. This targets the effectiveness of the filter curve's optimization. Or you can use the default suggested curve the way it is. More on target filter guidelines is available in the iRC Measure user manual. Click on the Optimize button and iRC Measure will automatically calculate a filter based on the filter curve you've created. Takes just a moment here. You can click on the Impulse button up here, and you can see the adjustment in timing iRC has made to compensate for reflections in your room. Next, click the Save Filter button to save the filter in a location on your storage drive. I've got a folder here I've made called Filters, and I'll call this My Room 1. It's important you save this in a location on your storage drive that you can remember, such as the Documents folder. This is actually the filter file that you will load into the iRC control window in Amarra Symphony. It's also very important to save the entire project too. I'll title this My Room. This is done so you can reload it and come back to the Filter Design tab in the future and make adjustments on your filters and save them as often as you'd like. The iRC Measure User Manual has a lot of really useful information and even more about room correction in general. Be sure to review it for best results. Here's a quick review. The first thing is to get your mic working. Next, set your input and output levels. Then measure all 9 positions in the measurement window. Review the target filter, modifying if necessary, then optimize. Save both your filters and the project, then load those filters into Amarra Symphony's iRC processor window. You can learn more about Amarra Symphony with iRC and sign up for a free 15-day demo at www.sonicstudio.com. If you have any questions about any Sonic Studio product, please feel free to contact us at sales@sonicstudio.com. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching.